Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind Military Smooth, Flight boss, the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And I'm here to tell you that you are becoming a star. And I don't think people really understand that. Now, you need to understand this. With the sun being this close to the earth, you need to understand that the sun and the earth relationship, the sun and the earth, which is Gaia, what they're doing is what Gaia, which is the earth, and Saturn did at one time. And then that's when you get the separation, because Earth started doing it with all now when we talk about planetary life, we got a lot of incest going on like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But it's not seen in that way. You can go to my other videos and see how planets is understood and stars is understood when it comes to sex and genders and things of that nature. But it's even to the point that, see, in this level of life, what y'all think is your children, in that level of life, you're able to fuck your children. Because your children is, in that level of life, when two elements or two type of beings come together and create something, that something is something entirely new itself. And the material and attributes that that new star becomes can share the same attribute. It's not seen in a way as, you know, child and son like that, you know, or daughter like that. You know what I'm saying? It's more seen on what energy did this new star geared more towards, if you understand what I'm saying. And it becomes its own entity. So it's a new physical form that a spirit can take. Now, there is a time where it was just the way the sun is rotating around Earth, it was Saturn. Now, I don't know if Earth was rotating around Saturn or Saturn was rotating around Earth. But the children that they had, Saturn put its seeds into Earth, and Earth birthed these beings. Now, these beings lived inside of Earth, right, for an amount of time, and then get birthed out into the realm of reality that Earth is in and Saturn is in. And it gets to live that level of life also. But Earth and Saturn may have been there before them. Now, I'm just speaking solely on our solar system. Now, once we get down, Earth has been doing this with every child. So when you get Jupiter out of the picture, you had a time that Jupiter was here. Now, this is what you need to understand also. When we talk about what the sun and Gaia doing now, this is actually the rotation that you're birthed up under. So you're birthed up under you're a seed of the sun and Earth having sex. So you're this kind of being. You're a light being. But at one point in time, there was beings that was formulated from the sun and Earth doing a rotation. So this is what y'all would call a lot of Titan beings that you think they were giants, but in their time, they wasn't giants. The same way, right now, you think you are small. In your time right now, you are a giant. Look at a motherfucking ant. Look at a littler life, right? So when you die and transform and go into the higher life and take a bigger vessel, they will be able to take new shapes and forms and become you in these vessels, right? But the life is going to be different. So your life going to be bigger and their life going to be smaller, but relative to them, they're going to be actual size. The same way you are a giant, but you think you are actual size. So what happens here is there's going to be things that we did when we walked the earth, that when that level of life come up and walk the earth, they're going to be like, damn, how the fuck did that happen? Was it giants or something like that? You see what I'm saying? So the level of life is like micro, macro. It's like big, small. But at the same time, you got to understand it from that point of view. So yeah, from our perspective, these motherfuckers was giants. But that's only when we try to make sense out of it from our perspective where we at now. But in their perspective, they was just thinking about it the same way we thinking about it. Where we created this, and it might be a level of life right now that's looking at this like, damn, who the fuck created that? It's giants it must have been giants amongst the earth. But time is different. So what's perceived as now in the present, we will become our past, but that will become their future. But it's all in the present. You get what I'm saying? It's only the present that exists. So time is an illusion based upon what dimension you in. And based upon the dimension you in, that's going to tell you the rotation of the mermaid of that time. But each time in each 360 is in a different present, is in a different presence. Different presence. So the present is going to be different. You see what I'm saying? Now, you are a being that come from the process of Gaia and the sun having sex right now. So this is the kind of attributes that you have as a being. So you have a physical form, which is the earth quality. You have a soul, which is an individual spiritual form, which is the moon. And you have a conscious awareness, which is the actual spiritual form, which is from the sun. But these are formulated bodies for your spirit can go into these rotations. You see what I'm saying? And understand the three worlds, the three forms. Then you're going to have other forms and things of that nature. So that's just kind of getting you to understand how why you see so many goddamn stars in the sky. Now all the stars ain't born from this Pacific. They got their own shit. But we got our own like feminine and masculine energies. So right now, right, you are the seeds and the cells that's coming from the sun and Gaia right now. So when you evolve, you gonna become like the beings that came about when the sun and when Earth and Saturn was rotating, and Earth and Jupiter was rotating, and Earth and Mercury was rotating, and Earth and you see what I'm saying? And then you're gonna ascend and you're gonna become those kind of stars. That's why I said no two stars alike. Right now you are a small micro macro. So the same way you are birthed within a feminine planet or star, and there's a masculine star, that's the same way you see the stars that precede you, that did that process before you. So you see what I'm saying? So when you get scientists talking about star life and things of that nature, they're not into the realm of reality on what cells and how that take place, because they're in one right now. Now, and this goes back to even us drawing out the geometrical landscape. Like I said, you have to understand that there was beings called the seas that actually created the seas, and they created the platform for us to even come here. So they was the beings that preceded us here. So this is where you get stories like the Lemurians and Atlantis and things of that nature. These was the spiritual beings that came here and outlined it, the seas and the geometrical locations for us. This is where we even get the concept of making our monuments correlate with constellations. You see what I'm saying? Because everything is a constellation. So they mapped out our constellation for us as smaller beings. The bigger we get is seen as one thing. That's why I said our solar system, the higher being you get is seen as one thing. You go to a higher, but once you start to evolve and get the 3 levels of light, like 1, 2, 3, boom, 4, 5, 6, boom. Once you get to 7, 8, and 9, you'll start to see us as an ecliptic being itself. That is like just one star. That'll just be one star. So all the constellations in our ecliptic belt and all that things to us, to a being that's getting to the 7th, 8th, and 9th dimensional life, that's seen as one star. That's just one star in that level of life. See what I'm saying? But let's get into another video. But that's just letting you know how levels of life start, and how stars are birthed. But you are a star, so you're witnessing firsthand. You don't have to go to a scientist and be like, how is stars born and this, that, and the third. You're witnessing it firsthand. You got the sun star, and then you got the feminine star that you are in right now, and then the way they're rotating the lights or whatever like that. See, light, this is how you even have children. Light is the thinnest body a spirit can take that can go through inside a person and to take a, you see what I'm saying? So it's doing that on that level of life also. So all the seeds is us, and we came here, spread it across the waters, and we formulated from this rotation. So our 2,000 years or something like that, or based upon our rotation, we are the spiritual beings that came here and started developing bodies and transforming from the rotation of Earth and the sun. So our physical bodies was birthed by them, and spirits, the kind of spirits that we came from in the astral realm was got enticed by these kind of lights, and that's why we took these kind of bodies, and we started off in the bodies of waters, was the beings of the seas. But it was beings here that preceded us, and we see them in the sky today. Same way, this is what you're going to be. This is where that whole concept of you going up or you going in the sky came from. All the religious annotations of it's heaven or hell and all that type of shit, that's where you get fucked up at. But our spirit already be knowing this shit. Your spirit just got to decipher all the illusions that's in the light, the physical forms, the stars. Everything is stars, from the smallest atom particle to the most largest neutron tricudical star. It's just the smaller stars to the bigger stars. I don't care if you're talking about wind, air, clouds. Everything is a body. Everything is stars. So spirits, all kind of spirits on their level of life, take all forms of bodies that we can consciously see. Flight boss, bitch. Air.